So the last two tests of the season. The biggest test is coming up on Friday. Uh, if they are victorious, they will have an even bigger test coming up when they play uh, UConn on the road. Uh, it's obviously possible they could face UConn a third time in the Big East tournament, or even a fourth time in the NCAA tournament. But our belief in this team and how far it can go in the NCAA tournament will heavily rely on their performance against UConn in February, starting on Friday.
Yeah. And, one other thing to, just sort of reflect on in terms of this particular St. John's team, and I actually did some research on this in terms of the Patino teams that have gone deep in the tournament. And one of the things about every Patino team that made it past the Elite Eight was the level or the ratio of their defensive ranking as well as their offensive ranking. And this particular St. John's team, if they can keep up what they're doing right now, they are actually at one of the top levels in terms of both offense and defensive ranking. They just need to get a little bit higher on the defensive ranking because their offense is premier. And their offense hasn't actually really clicked consistently all season. You're seeing great performances by individual players. Zuby Ejiofor is leading the team in most of the statistical offensive categories as well as defensive categories, but he hasn't necessarily been the standout, dominant, consistent player on the team all season. He's had some games where he has not really shown up because he's been challenged by the other team, and he's relied on other players on the team to be able to show up. And that's the exciting thing about this team is that every night it could be a different player. Bryce Hopkins is now playing at an exceptional level. Dylan Mitchell, obviously, since he's been inserted into the starting lineup, has transformed, both himself and the team in terms of what he's capable of doing. Ozias Sellers is beginning to really, you know, come into his own in terms of being confident with the ball, not just, an open look, but being able to, shoot off the bounce as well as being able to, step into a shot with a hand in his face. Something that he was very tentative to do early in the season. And to the point of Rick Pitino saying some interesting things this season, he said he wanted Ozias Sellers to shoot the ball every chance he got. He wished he would shoot more. And that's one of the things I've been looking for all season is Sellers really taking what Pitino said and applying it the same way that Hopkins has begun to apply what Pitino said about him in terms of becoming the ultimate alpha dog and really taking the ball in his body to every player that goes against him.